Hi! This is Shylu Winston narrating an epic story from Philippines. Manuel Reyes, the narrator, heard this story from his grandfather when they lived in Rizal province in the Philippines. And this story appears in From Filipino Popular Tales by Dean S. Franzler. Here is the epic tale from Philippines in my own words. Once there was a boy named Suan living in Campau near the Batangas in Philippines. He liked going to school as many boys of his age do. He was a sharp-witted and clever boy, but Suan was poked by his friends because he couldn't pronounce the letter X. He would instead say Ekid. His schoolmates casually named him as Suan Ekid, much to the displeasure of the lad. Wherever he went, he could hear them shouting, Ekid, Ekid, Ekid. Suan was disgusted and decided he needs to do something about it. One such afternoon, he approached his mother and demanded, "Mother, buy me a pencil and a notepad. I want to show everyone that I'm the wisest boy in our town." Not quite sure about what he meant, his mother agreed to fulfill her son's simple demands. While her mother forgot the whole conversation, Suan didn't. One night, when his parents were fast asleep, he stole the father's plow and hid near a brook. So plow is a farming tool that has blades fixed in a frame, which is used to draw over the soil, to turn it over and cut furrows to prepare it for planting the seeds. The next morning, his father was seen running across the porch trying to find the plow. Seeing this timely moment, Suan inquired, "What are you searching?" "Did you see my plow?" his father asked. Trying to help his father, he comforted him and added, "Father, I can guess where it is. Come with me." Suan then took his pencil and drew few figures and shapes on the paper which no one could understand. He raised his head and said, "It means the neighbor stole the plow from the porch and hid it near the brook." His father rushed to the spot and was delighted to find his plow. He screamed, "Good Lord, my son is the wisest boy in the whole town." News of Suan's prediction spread like wildfire in the town. While Suan sat on a guava tree one lazy afternoon, he saw Pedro, his uncle, plowing the field with his carabao. Pedro went out to have meal. In the meantime, Suan took the carabao and hid it. Upon his return, Pedro saw his carabao was missing. He went out and called his pet. A passerby interrupted Pedro and said, "You look flustered. What happened?" Pedro narrated his plight, and the man said, "Go to your nephew, Suan. He can tell who took away your carabao." Suan again repeated the act of drawing gibberish and explained the place where it was hidden. Pedro was delighted to know that Suan could predict correctly. People then flocked to Suan for answers to their queries. His mother, meanwhile, came across the king's proclamation. It read, "The princess has lost her precious ring. Whoever can tell the name of the thief will marry my daughter. But if someone tries and fails, he will lose his life." Suan's mother went to the king's court and proclaimed, "Your Majesty, my son can name the person who stole the ring." The king said, "That's good. I will send the carriage to get your son here." Saying this, the king ordered his guards. Suan's mother went home and, holding her son, she said, "My son, I informed the king that you could easily guess who stole the princess' ring." Hearing this, Suan was dumbfounded. "Oh, you stupid mama, what did you do?" said Suan with trembling voice. And before he could run away, the coachman knocked their door to fetch Suan. Reluctantly, he boarded the carriage and mumbled, "You will die today." He was actually telling that to himself. But the coachman thought Suan was talking to him. The coachman then turned towards Suan and pleaded, "I beg of you, please spare my life. Don't tell the king about the ring." Suan's eyes glistened with hope. "What? Where is the ring?" he asked. The coachman handed over the ring, and now Suan had to save himself. Riding his luck, he said, "I will tell you what you have to do. If you want to escape the state punishment, find out king's goose bird and make it swallow the ring." The coachman obeyed as mentioned. The next day, Suan was summoned to king's assembly. "Give me the name of the person who committed the crime," king roared. Suan said, "I need a candle to guess correctly." The king's servant placed a lighted candle on Suan's table. He looked at the candle, moved around the place, made some gestures in the air, and then finally sat down, uttering Latin words. He then opened his eyes and said that the ring was inside his pet goose. The king understood that his pet goose had swallowed the ring and it was not stolen. He then ordered to kill the goose. The ring was inside the dead bird. Then the celebration and merry followed as Suan was married to the princess. Meanwhile, a rich man named Mayabong, living in the other side of the country, heard about Suan and approached the king with a proposal to contest. He said, "I have cascos with a treasure of gold and silver. If your son-in-law can tell me the number of seeds in the 2 melons, my cascos will be yours. If not, you would owe me the same amount of money." The king was confident that Suan can do this, and Suan couldn't anyways refuse the king's request. The same night, Suan was restless, unable to think of ways to save himself. So he decided to drown himself in the sea. As he floated into the sea, he heard 2 casco guards talking among themselves near Mayabong's cascos. He carefully heard them and understood that the yellow melon has 6 seeds and the green melon has 5 seeds. Suan then dropped the idea of drowning in the sea and with beaming confidence sat to answer Mayabong's question next morning. "How many seeds are there in total inside the melons?" asked Mayabong. After uttering something in Latin, he said, 5 seeds in green and 6 seeds in the yellow melon. The melons were cut in the court and Suan was declared the winner. Frustrated as he lost the money, Mayabong threw another challenge to Suan to win back his gold. Suan first refused, but after the king insisted, he agreed, knowing well that he cannot escape this time. Then a bottle rolled up to him and Mayabong implored, "Tell us what the bottle contains." Picking up the bottle from the floor, Suan angrily retorted, "You are a waste to me." The bottle actually had cow dung and waste. And thus Suan again guessed it right unknowingly. The king declared Suan as his successor, and they all lived in happiness and bliss for generations. And this is the summary, in my own words, of a 500-page tale, Suan the Great Guesser. But just like any other epic story, this story also has several other versions to it in different places where the incidents in the story slightly varies in different versions. So that's the end of the epic story from Philippines, Suan the Great Guesser. In case if you don't know, I narrate short stories with a moral and a joke on all weekdays, that is Monday to Friday, and I narrate epic stories from different countries on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel Shylu Instant Speeches, or follow my page in Facebook in the same name, Shylu Instant Speeches, so you can be notified of my new videos. And please do like the video and leave some comments in the comment section for me to read. And if you have any feedback, please do share it in the comment section. And also, if you have any other epic story in mind that you would like me to narrate, then do mention it in the comment section, so I can just go through the story and narrate it in one of the videos. Bye bye.